or circuit court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of the entry of the commission's decision. We advise that you seek your own independent legal advice to ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met. Do you think they're going to put this on my tombstone? Well, I'm trying to bring a little levity. Okay, so if I start saying it in my sleep, then I'm in trouble. So we ask for approval of today's agenda.
So moved.
We have a first.
Second.
First and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Ask for approval of the minutes of the July 12th, 2021 meeting. Is there a motion to approve, please?
Move to approve.
Is there a second? We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it has been approved. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm waiting for Councilmember O'Connell to come before we do the consent agenda. And I think most of the items we have are on consent, except for we're going to have an update from Mr. Haggerty concerning the Cord parking program. So we'll let you do that, please, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like, when we get ready for the consent agenda, I'd like to, let's see, there's one about all the parking,
Yes.
Ed, if we could take that out.
Okay, all right. We'll get to that point. Okay, great. We'll let Mr. Haggerty, thank you so much for attending today, and if you could give us an update on where we are with this program. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Derek Haggerty, Nashville Department of Transportation. And Corby, can we bring up this presentation? While we're bringing up the slides, this is just an update on the smart loading zones we've recently installed downtown. These went into effect back on February 1st. It gives delivery drivers the option to reserve spots ahead of time, pull up, and pay through the app. So we're just going to give a quick update and then talk about what we're going to be doing during the next couple months. I'm just going to give a second for the slides here. All right, perfect. Next slide, please. All right, so currently we have 7 of these smart zones, which we launched. We originally had an 8th plan for 2nd Avenue between Broadway and Commerce. Obviously, that did not get installed, and we have no plans to at this time. With the construction timeline out there, we just don't think it's viable. The current rules for these smart loading zones passed by this commission are effective through the end of December of this year. At that time, I'll be coming back with some more refined rules. We left it pretty open the first go around so we could play around with the pilot, make adjustments as needed. Based on what we're talking about here and what we're going to see over the next few months, we'll have some more concrete suggestions to narrow this program in and really focus it. So next slide, please. When we launched, it was on local news. All the parking magazines, which there are a surprising amount of, wrote about it. Next slide. Yep, and one of the keys we think to this program is really the outreach, and the downtown partnership was incredible to work on with this. Not only do they attend our weekly and bi-weekly meetings, but their staff is out on the street helping spread the word of this. Obviously, they have a large stake in curb management downtown. We have a lot coming from our planning department that you all will probably be seeing over the next few months. And this is just one small component of that. So downtown partnership, they had their ambassadors doing outreach at these loading zones a few weeks in advance to let the drivers that regularly park there know what's coming. Our parking enforcement officers did the same thing. And once these zones did go into effect on February 1st, we had a 2-week grace period where our officers were passing out palm cards, educating drivers as to the change that was coming. Cord has also been a fantastic partner to work with. We're doing this under a grant that they provided. So currently Cord is receiving no funds through this program. They're using this as a way to demonstrate their technology. And they've been doing fleet outreach. They have this program in a few other cities, so they do have contacts with large fleets nationwide, which is a really great way to get to those companies and have kind of that trickle-down effect to the drivers. We'll get to a list in a little bit here of some of the companies that we're working with, and you'll see Amazon Delivery, FedEx on there, and those are really the companies that pays off to get involved here. Downtown partnerships also helped us reach a lot of the businesses downtown, either going door to door or through their newsletter. Next slide, please. Yeah, and court and our parking enforcement officers have really continued to do a lot of outreach. Obviously, our enforcement officers are on the ground. I don't know if drivers are always happy to see them come up, but they've been doing a pretty good job of staying positive and spreading the word on this program. Cord has been, like I said, they've been great, reaching out to both drivers and fleets to look at improvements along the way. And I'm going to highlight some of the changes that they've made to their app to make things easy for both the drivers and the fleets. Next slide, please. All right, so far we've had 19 fleets sign up for this program. And the way it works, either drivers can sign up individually or their fleets can sign up and the drivers are added beneath them. So most independent drivers will obviously sign up themselves. The ones that work for large fleets, the fleets will set up an account. The drivers will enter their name in there, and any cost for parking gets charged to the fleet at that level. So you can see we've had 240 drivers sign up. Some of the companies up there, probably not a surprise. Obviously, having FedEx and Amazon on board is a pretty big step. Next slide, please. All right, and here's kind of a week-by-week look at some of the sessions we've had, the number of bookings. Now, one of the keys I really want everyone to look at here, at the end of April, we had a 2-week focused enforcement effort. So you see right after that, we have a little bit of a bump up where we're having a little more compliance. You know, as I'm sure all of you know, Metro Nashville has 5 parking enforcement officers. They work hard, but this is a 500 square mile city. Honestly, if you get a parking ticket, you're pretty unlucky. Yeah, but by having extra people down there just spreading the word and actually checking up, enforcing these regulations, we did see a pretty marked improvement in compliance. I think any parking reform we see downtown, enforcement is going to be a key to that, and this pilot has demonstrated that. Next slide, please. And now we can kind of see by day of the week here. One thing I do want to emphasize about this is, it's great that drivers can reserve ahead, that the city can bring in a couple extra dollars in funding. But what this really does is it works as a planning tool for us. We can see when drivers are booking, where they're booking, what time of day, and our future parking regulations can really be shaped by that. And that's another reason why it's great for these fleets to sign up. If you want to be included in Nashville's parking planning, getting on board with this program is important because this is the best data set we have for loading in Nashville. So what we see here, it's broken up by day of the week. In green at the bottom is the number of large commercial trucks. So we can see a lot of those deliveries happening beginning and end of the week. Next slide, please. Here we break it down by time of day. Probably not a surprise to anyone downtown, but the majority of those loading zones occupied by trucks are taking place in the morning. 7 to noon is almost all of our commercial loading activity, with that spike around 9 o'clock. And this is something that as we move forward with our parking technology and go to more flexible zones, loading zones 6 a.m. to 12 or till 2 p.m., then we switch over for other uses. Ride share, passenger vehicle parking, whatever there is out there. So just, another example of using data to inform these future decisions. Next slide, please. All right, just a little bit more average dwell time. We see certain areas, vehicles are parked there longer than other times. And I won't go too deep into any of this. Next slide, please. All right, so some of the conversations that really Cord has been having with the drivers, setting it up for easier payment, linking the drivers to the fleets. In the past, drivers would have to sign up, link their fleets. Now we can just do it automatically from the fleet level. Pre-booking of zones we can do further out, and auto hold features, which let's say a driver has to drop something off, go pick up something else, maybe 5-10 minutes away. They can hold that zone so they can just come right back to it. Also third-party booking. I'm trying to think of the apartment complex downtown on Union in between 2nd and 3rd. Someone can probably help me out with the name there, but the Stallman, yes. A guest was moving out and they had reserved the space for their moving truck, but the app is connected to GPS technology. So as that person left to go get lunch, the reservation canceled because it wasn't the actual driver that had booked it. So Cord saw that, made the update to the app so that now, let's say even at the fleet level, if you just want to be able to book for your drivers so they don't have to worry about that, you can do that, not be GPS located right next to that spot. Yeah, absolutely. And, a few other things here. You can see in-app messaging. We can send messages back and forth directly with the drivers. Next slide, please. So proposed next steps, we're looking at extending this pilot through the end of December, which aligns with the temporary regulations. The original grant was only for 6 months. Cord has agreed to extend that free of cost to the city. We've accepted that at the NDOT level. If there's any concerns about that here, would love to hear them after the presentation, but we think it's been a great product so far. We're also looking at expanding the smart zones. Cord has an app that we use that allows us to go out and collect all the sign data. So we'll be doing that, expanding our zone. It'll now run on the north side from Charlotte, south to KVB, and 1st to 8th. So not only is that great for this, but it allows us to map every inch of downtown. So we'll get all the existing signage down there, and we'll be able to map the uses for all those spaces, which I think is a product that this commission would find very beneficial. So we look forward to sharing that map in the near future, where we'll be able to show you the use for every inch of curb space downtown. So with that, looking at expanding this to a few other loading zones south of Broadway, everything we're looking at is just existing loading zones, and we'd have the same outreach process, giving drivers advance notice, starting with warnings from our parking enforcement. We're currently in the data collection, so we don't know what that exactly will look like. I'll probably have an update for you in September. And we also have the potential, and this probably is not going to happen in the next few months, to look at other uses here. One hot topic downtown is musician loading zones. We've been in talks with the musicians. Dave Pomeroy and I have talked a few times on this. And their desire is really to see this on Broadway itself. As we're in the pilot phase, we're not looking to extend to Broadway just yet. We hope in the future that's really a way for musicians probably to come in free of charge, reserve these spaces for 15 minutes, book it ahead of time when they know they're going to be loading and unloading, and be able to drive right up, drop off their equipment, pull the car out. We think that would be very beneficial future use for this program. You can see some other things here. Construction, being able to maybe charge fees for the use of that curb space as we lose the opportunity to use it as a city. Next slide, please. So pilot expansion area, I hit on this quick. Our team's out right now collecting an additional 14 miles of curb data. I think just having that map is going to be really great for us at the city and for this commission. Next slide, please. And that concludes the presentation here. We do have a little more data available if anyone's interested, but I'd like to open it up to questions now.
Questions, commissioners?
My question probably doesn't pertain to where you are right now, but in the future. So I'm in the meetings and conventions industry. So I saw tour buses up there, which I understand that's more of a drop-off pickup kind of thing for like the Country Music Hall of Fame. But what are you going to do for large citywide conventions that come to town and shuttles are circulating throughout downtown? How would that system work?
Yeah, so the nice thing about this program is it's all digital. If we want to turn off a smart zone for a day to use it for something else, we can. We can really update it, day to day, however we'd like. So I don't know if we have a certain plan in place now, but this program does give us the flexibility to change it as needed. For special events now, we shut down the zones so that drivers don't expect to be able to pull up, book them. I think we had some, I don't know if it was TV or movie filming up on, I guess it's Rep. John Lewis Way now. So we shut down those zones for a couple days, which is a good indicator to drivers not to try to pull there. It's something's going on, the space isn't available.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Going the pilot through December 31st, ultimately, is I guess, does NDOT have, is it too early to anticipate what a recommendation here? I mean, I'm sensing that maybe this is hey, let's keep doing this, right? I mean, just based on the data we already have. Do you have a sense of where we are in that regard?
So Mr. Knopf may be able to provide a little more information here.
Apparently. Oh,
I don't see that's it. Still finishing.
Oh, look at that. Oh, had it for a second. Check. Yeah, seems to be okay over here. Oh.
Just speak loudly.
Perfect. Yeah, so to the original question, whether or not we see this as being something that's adopted permanently, Mr. Knopf may be able to provide some more details here, but we are currently going through I guess we call it a smart parking RFP process, and we anticipate either Core themselves or similar companies at least being a sub on those contracts with similar technology. All right. Yep. And Don, were you able to hear that?
Hey, I think the audio's been cutting out at inopportune times. Can you hear me okay now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we.
Hear us is the question. There we go. We're rebooted and back online. So the
okay.
question was really about, this has been a grant to the city, but at some point in time, the city will, if they want to implement this, we'll have to pay up. So is there any sense of, is there a cost per space, or how does pricing for something like this work to collect the data, please?
Sure. The way it usually works is that Ford basically keeps our lights on by retaining a share of the revenue that the city brings in through the fleets. So basically, the more, bookings the city has, the city brings in more money, and so do we. But, we know different cities have different kind of procurement rules and preferences. So we're able to kind of look at a variety of different models, such as, per transaction as opposed to a percentage basis or a per zone basis, if that's interesting to the city. So our most common model is that percentage of revenue, which makes it kind of no additional cost to expand if the city wants to expand, but we try to be flexible to get to a model that works for everybody.
What city has implemented this program most extensively? Is there a model
Yeah.
city, please?
Sure. Actually, Aspen, Colorado is small but extremely busy, and they launched this in November of 2020, and they did an expansion from a smaller pilot area to pretty much their whole downtown, all their loading zones, and then they also have smart zones in their alleyways, which are common for loading there. So I'd say, as far as the most kind of mature program, it's Aspen.
Pardon me, did you say Aspen?
Yes, Aspen,
Okay.
Colorado.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Commissioners, any other questions? Council member? Okay. Well, this was very informative. Thank you. And Dawn Miller, thank you very much for participating.
Yes, thank you all for having me and for your partnership.
Okay. All right. Okay. The next item on our agenda is actually the consent agenda, and we have numerous items on the consent agenda. There's already been a request to pull item F. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Council member?
Do you need a motion?
Well, I think we may have more, so first, let me check and see. Then we can make a motion all at one time.
I think I don't necessarily need to pull anything, but I do, well, I guess I don't want to pass the consent agenda with without a little more staff input on some of the District 19 loading zones and parking. I mean, I think it is appropriate to pull F, but after just hearing about Cord, I do want to make sure that this is kind of like valet to me too, that this is changing how we're using the curb space for all of these locations, and I just want to make sure that that as we go forward for authorizing loading zones and so forth, that this is falling under the kind of overall smart parking approach that I think Derek was talking about. So I guess maybe if we could just get a quick rundown on the staff perspective on these loading zones and how that interacts with where we're going with smart policy, that would help me understand whether I should pull any of these off consent. Thanks.
Mr. Knopf, can you help us out? We're practically, yeah.
All right. Hello. So I'm somewhat limited on what I can talk about because we're in the middle of a procurement operation with some smart parking vendors. I don't know how much you know about it, council member, but I will say that this vendor, when chosen, will incorporate anything that we pass today or passed in the future will pass in the past. So with that said, most of what we're bringing before you, all these right here are development related, and some of them have turn lanes involved, some of them have bike lanes involved. You know about those. But to answer your question, in the big picture, this parking vendor, again, I'm a little handcuffed on what I can say, even with what Derek was presenting, but the smart parking vendor will be tasked with enrolling in any future loading zones and any existing loading zones in the overall plan. And that'll be part of their contract.
That is helpful. I think for me, one thing that helps me be comfortable with this as an overall consent agenda is I think in the past we might have seen we've seen removal of parking meters, and I know we're going to talk about one here in just a second. I think it's sometimes more rare to see removal of loading zones, and I hope that as we go forward, right, items I and J, we may find that we need to do more of that in an overall program, especially if it's being done in a fully coordinated fashion. So I think this is a good case study agenda for what I hope is almost like, Mr. Chair, I think that maybe the agendas going forward will feel like they are coming out of a more strategic and coordinated approach driven by some of the work we've done with Court and work that I know you've been invested in since the original parking modernization proposal. So I think that's a good case study. I don't think I need to necessarily pull anything off, but it's a good one to study. So thank you, Chip, for the update there.
And if you would please note, Mr. Knopf, the council members' comments about strategic direction. Okay. With all that being said, we have, looks like item F is the one we want to pull. If you would like to make a motion, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to pass the consent agenda with the exception of number F, to pull item F for separate discussion.
Second.
Mr. Chair, just for the record, can you read through the consent?
Yes, I will,
just-
but I think we
okay.
need a motion to remove F
Yes,
before I
I
get
agree.
started. And that's what I think we have, is a motion to remove item F, okay? And then we'll read the consent agenda. Okay, we have first and a second. All in favor of removing? Okay. Any opposed? Okay, so item F. So now I'm going to read the consent agenda without item F, okay? And y'all help me remember in case I forget. Okay. Item A is a mandatory referral 2021M 006 AB 001, a request for the abandonment of a 25-foot wide strip of unimproved portion of Lincoln Street right-of-way between McKinley Street and alley number 1024, easements to be retained by XE Development Company, LLC. Item B is mandatory referral 2021M 012 AB 001, a request for the abandonment of right-of-way and easements along an unnumbered alley from 17th Avenue southward to alley number 422 and alley number 442 from the proposed alley number 458 northward to an unnumbered alley requested by Vanderbilt University. Item C is to authorize a loading zone 25 feet in length at 1117 2nd Avenue North, requested by IMY Germantown. Item D is to authorize a loading zone on south side of Chet Atkins Place, 150 feet east of 20th Avenue South, 25 feet in length, requested by the Adelicia Condos. Item E, authorize a loading zone on the south side of Mansion Street, 30 feet west of Magazine Street, 20 feet in length, requested by Barista Parlor. Item G, authorize no parking on Taylor Street between 2nd Avenue North and the Cumberland River Greenway, requested by Kimley Horn. Item H, authorize a valet zone on Commerce Street, 30 feet west of 5th Avenue North, 25 feet in length, requested by Premier Parking. Is 5th Avenue North in that John Lewis Way now?
Correct.
Okay. So we just should have the record show it's John Lewis Way, 25 feet in length, requested by Premier Parking. Item I, authorize the removal of loading zone on the west side of 3rd Avenue South, 150 feet south of the KVB, 150 feet in length. Item J, authorize removal of the loading zone on the east side of 3rd Avenue South, 30 feet south of Lee Street, 30 feet in length. Item K is to authorize a valet zone on the north side of Malloy Street in the parking bay from 2nd Avenue to 150 feet west of 2nd Avenue, requested by Hyatt Centric. Item L, authorize the reduction of speed limit from 30 to 25 miles per hour on Hudson Road from Neely's Bend Road to, is it Manise Lane? Manise Lane from Neely's Bend Road to the dead end, Nawaki, okay, Trail from Neely's Bend to Pawnee Trail, requested by Councilmember Hancock. Item M is to authorize the reduction of speed from 30 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour on Shire Drive from Hickory Park Drive to the dead end, requested by a resident. Item N is to authorize stop control on Jonna Court at Vista Lane, requested by Councilmember Toombs. And item O is to authorize no parking on both sides of Perkins Street from Lewis Street to Lincoln Street, requested by Metro Nashville Police Department. Okay, the consent agenda's been read. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a first. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's been approved. All right. Item F is to authorize removal of 5 parking meters on the north side of Chet Atkins Place at 19th Avenue South, near 19th Avenue South, requested by Hoare Construction. Commissioner Wood, you pulled this item.
I'd like to get an explanation from staff or the company. I don't understand why this couldn't just be like temporary, you know, why we're giving up 5 meters, like permanently versus temporary.
Totally agree with you. Let me ask first, anyone from Hoare Construction here? We do? No? Oh,
No.
sorry, we're all looking at you.
Okay.
I'm okay. I've been asked to defer this, first of all, but I want to give an explanation of why the permanent, not temporary. It's for a left turn lane. They're changing the layout of the street and putting out a left turn lane for the development. But let's defer it a month if that's okay with the group, and we'll see if the representative can come in here and tell you the story behind the request.
I move to defer.
Are there any other items people have? Yes, council member.
Mr. Chair, I believe that this is my last meeting with the commission, and you all will be joined by another member of the Metro Council after elections in the council body at a later date. So I just wanted to say it's been a pleasure serving with you.
Well, the pleasure has been ours as well. Council member, you've been a very active member of the commission. We really appreciate that. It's felt like we've had someone on the commission going back to the council with ideas that have been articulated here. That's very appreciative. So we're grateful for your service as always and look forward to the new member we have. All right.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye.
All right.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.